First of all, don't overthink. Just build out your products, build out your offerings, and get your message out there. And secondly, make sure to billboard everywhere. There's no way that people can pay you or learn from you or get your advice if you don't tell them that it's possible for them.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Coach Tribe podcast. Today, we have a very exciting guest. Well, it's not really a guest because it's literally my co-host. He's here with us today in the house. So you're literally getting 2-for-1, two of your favorite hostess today. Tengo, hello, welcome. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be joining the hostess with the mostest.
What can I say? We've missed you. Where have you been? Where are the episode recorded by Tengo?
It's a good question. It's a fair question. And I'm sorry to have been a bit aloof. I was just going for some milk. No, I'm kidding. I was working hard on the Pensight product, on growth, making everything better for our users, to make it easier, creators and coaches to make more money online.
That does sound like a good excuse. So what can we say, But the truth is, Tengo, that's why you're here, because you've been working hard on that Pensight product. And I've been getting many questions around Pensight and how to leverage Pensight and what are the hidden features and what don't we know about Pensight. So I literally compiled the list of the most common asked questions about Pensight and how can we leverage it, and literally strategies on how our coaches and creators can use Pensight to get more of it, to get more clients, to make more money. And that's why we're here. Are you ready to answer some of our questions, Tengo?
I'm ready, locked and loaded. Let's go.
Okay, before we get into the nitty-gritty, the actual strategies, the details, I feel like the best way to start is to literally just ask you, first of all, what inspired the creation of Pensight, and how does Pensight addresses the challenges of online coaches and creators in today's space and time?
Yeah, great question. So Pensight was founded with a mission and a vision to help people share and monetize their knowledge. Fundamentally, that is the thing driving us all. We think that it shouldn't just be a handful of people who share their knowledge and people are known about. We think it's about democratizing education, about allowing everybody to learn from other people, because we all have knowledge, we all have expertise, we all have a genius in us that we can share. And we want to enable that, essentially, that transfer of information, that communication, the sharing of wisdom between people, because that's how we all together grow as a population and as a people. So that's why we founded Pensight. We want to make that whole process so much more easier and enjoyable for both parties, not just the expert, the genius, but also for the person who's learning. And we want to enable that exchange for the better of everybody.
That's exactly it. And I'm happy, more people get to hear this version and that we put it out like this.
The Coach Tribe podcast is powered by Pensight. I want to take this opportunity to tell you more about Pensight and how much value it can provide you and your coaching business.
Pensight is an all-in-one platform for coaches and educators that enables you to quickly and easily build a highly credible page and sell your knowledge with one-to-one sessions, group coaching, courses, Q&As, digital products, and bundles. Payments, scheduling, video calling, client communications, and everything else is taken care of.
All it takes is 5 minutes to set up, and it's free. It's the smartest way to kickstart your coaching business. Sign up to Pensight today at pensight.com.
Now, Tengo, many coaches and creators struggle with managing multiple tools for different aspects of their business. Now, how do we as Pensight streamline these processes and enhance efficiency?
Yeah, another great question. So yeah, I mean, the mission we have obviously sounds great, but how is the very tough question, and the question that I've been dealing with on my little break, but also that we're dealing with as a team. So there are multiple elements when it comes to kind of sharing and monetizing that knowledge, making that into a living. And so there's different ways you can do that, right? So there's video calls, there's text, there's courses, there's images, all these kinds of different ways. And your people, your students, people who are learning from you also want to consume and learn from you in different ways, right? Some people prefer visual content, some people prefer regular updates, some people need help with accountability. So there's such a vast array of different things that are necessary to make it work. And what we found was that there's no real unified all-in-one platform centralized to make managing all of that easy, right? So yes, video call software exists, Zoom, Google Meet. Yes, separately, scheduling software exists. Yes, building a course is possible on various platforms. Yes, you can create private content feeds and memberships in other places, right? So the kind of things I mentioned are Zoom, Google Meet, Calendly, Kajabi, Thinkific, Patreon. There's so many different things and they're so far dispersed and it's so hard to integrate everything together. Even if you find a glue, like using that glue is difficult. However, we wanted to combine all of that into one place and then make a lot of additional features that, because we're thinking about this as a holistic problem, we're thinking about how can we actually make this a beautiful integrated journey for both you and your users. It becomes so much easier to, first of all, gather those clients, get their information, but also retain them and share them around and let them learn as much as possible from you, because that's what it's all about. So that's essentially what we think about. The way we think about it is it's not just that you want to do one thing. You don't just want a storefront. You don't just want to be able to do video calls, but we think about you as serving your clients and the client journey that's involved. So from the full flow of scheduling, reminders, video calls, recordings, courses, and so much more is all included in one place.
Almost sounds too good to be true. That's what I've heard actually for many of our users. Too good to be true. I remember Jordan Hartgraves, which is one of our first users, let's call it like this, and he was saying it's like I was handed the keys for a Lamborghini. That's one that stick with me because it's true. It's a dream tool for coaches and creators, and I'm the happiest when we hear it from our users. Now, to be even more detailed, because of course, from the outside, this makes sense, but to be even more detailed, of course, right now, building a strong online presence, it's critical. Without it, there is almost no business, especially when we talk about coaching and creators out there. Now, how does Pensight Link in Bio help us effectively showcase our offerings and engage with the audience? I know you mentioned some of these, but can you, tell us in more details? Like literally, how can we showcase the offers? How can we engage our audience, capture emails? What are those specific things?
Yeah, great question. So there's a myth that's been prevalent and shared by big players in our space. I'm gonna name one. I'm gonna go straight out. Russell Brunson is an example of a guy who's been selling that you need to have a beautiful, gorgeous website and a gorgeous funnel to make money online. And there's a bunch of others like him. I don't think Russell's a bad person at all. I think he has his own thing that he's trying to sell and sure the way he does it works. But it's just not necessary. It's a myth. You don't need a website to make money. What's important is to be able to have your offering visible and public for people to access. And so through a link in bio tool, such as Pensight, you can fundamentally create your offering, and whether that offering is coaching, one-to-one sessions, group sessions, bundles, courses, memberships, and so much more. Again, the important thing is you can easily create that in just a bunch of clicks in a matter of minutes and not hours and days like is necessary to build a funnel or a website on Wix or Squarespace. Instead, you can get set up and immediately start testing the hypotheses. What do your potential clients, your ideal personas actually want to purchase from you and learn from? So that's fundamentally what will make easier the step of actually setting up your offering. And then because we have such a nice, sleek, customizable link in bio with customizable themes, buttons, colors, and so much more, you can style it just how you like it to your brand. You can then share that as your link in bio. So right now, what we're seeing is, of course, social media is a great platform to find an audience. And if you have that audience, if you build that audience, you can then drive them to this beautiful kind of landing page, which is actually really a link in bio from Pensight, the customized profile, which looks gorgeous. You can essentially figure out quickly and learn if your offering is the right one for them. And you can accept payments, you can do the scheduling and manage it. So it's just not true you need a website. It's not true that you need a complicated funnel that takes days and weeks to build. Get set up in 5-10 minutes and then already drive your audience to there with a gorgeous kind of customizable, colorful brand.
And if that's not clear for me already, why would I use Pensight Link in bio and not a website? Like, why would I choose that? What's in it for me?
It's a case of time and investment, right? So do you want to be spending, say, 4 weeks or maybe even thousands of dollars? So I know multiple people who have spent 5K, 10K, building out a very sometimes gorgeous, sometimes average website where they mention who they are, all their different services and so forth. And then there's lots of buttons here, integrations there. You have to host it. You have to pay for the brand registration. So much expense and so much cost goes to building out a website or a funnel, when really you can actually get set up in 10, 15, 20 minutes to include everything in your offering, describe who you are, what you're selling, and what the offer is, and immediately get that out there in front of your crowd and audience. Because really, especially when we're starting out, we don't know exactly what it is that our audience wants. We think we know, we get questions, we get DMs, all this kind of stuff, but really we don't know what will actually drive and make it possible to have a living off of this. So the idea is really to kind of get to your customers as quickly as possible, test it out, and manage your business so much more easily than having to spend thousands of dollars or many, many hours and days building out something.
And I think another one is to have your website optimized for purchase. So when you get on your Pensight Link in bio, you can see the offer directly, that meeting call directly. You just click, you have it in your schedule. It's just so easy rather than on a website when you have the about section, the discover, like you get lost in all of this information and you forget why you're there to actually buy. That should be, I think, the end goal of the end goal. Now, I know, let's assume I'm a coach and I already have my offer, but I know pricing is a very big challenge for coaches, creators out there. And I know Pensight, of course, we have custom forms and payment plan. Can you tell us a bit more about those and how those can help coaches with their decision making when it comes to, let's say, pricing or, getting more people to buy from you?
The association between price and value is fascinating to me. How people view just something having a high price already impacts how much they're willing to spend on it because of the anchoring effect and various other psychological biases that exist. If you're interested, definitely check out behavioral psychology, behavioral economics. There's so many interesting concepts and ideas there to consider when pricing. And one of the things, again, is you can end up in kind of an analysis paralysis. What price should I set? What do I do here? Is this the right price? Is this the wrong price? Very quickly, the kind of trick is figure out what's the closest substitute or alternative to what you have, and then try to price approximately the same. What you should be aiming for is looking for, what is market price, and then show that what you're offering is so much more valuable than the other competitors out there, and then you can drive traffic to that. But the great thing with Pensight is you can also package your products and offerings in various ways. So you can, have one big offer, but especially for the high ticket offers, especially for $500, $1,000 and more, if you're selling courses, bundles, packages like that, then it's oftentimes difficult, especially with the cost of living crisis, for clients and your users to buy immediately with one large purchase. And so the awesome thing is with Pensight Pro, you can actually split that up into payments and accept installments. And so you could say instead of $1,000, you can do 4 installments of $300. That way, over the long term, you're taking a slight risk because being paid over 4 installments, but you will get $1,200, and other people will also get the benefit of being able to afford it more easily. The other cool things as well as membership subscriptions. So you can actually accept subscription payments weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or yearly. And then that's another great way to actually get recurring revenue. And as I mentioned in my recent newsletter, ain't no income like recurring income.
And I will definitely get back to those online memberships. But before we get there, what about custom forms? How can we leverage those? Like, what are the benefits of us using those custom forms?
So custom forms are useful in a bunch of different use cases and applications. So one is, getting to know your customers. So say they're signing up already for a product, you might want to ask them, say they're signing up to like a bundle. So let's say a 3-month coaching one-to-one bundle. You can find out more about them, where they're coming from, what they're trying to achieve by buying this bundle, all these kind of things. But it's also extremely helpful to actually qualify your leads. So especially for the free products that you have, whether it's an ebook kind of lead magnet thing, or whether it's actually the intro one-to-one strategy call, there's nothing more annoying than when somebody books a free one-to-one intro call with you and then they don't turn up to the call. So with a custom form, you can ask for their telephone number. You can ask, why are you booking this call with me? What are you trying to achieve? And you can even ask them, for example, do you have, let's say, a minimum of $500 to spend if you want to move forward with me on this one-to-one intro call? And people generally will, first of all, having to fill out that form. Although that form adds a little bit of friction to the sign-up process, it means that the people who do sign up are much more committed to you already. So you'll find that you might get slightly fewer one-to-one intro call bookings, but the people who come will be way more qualified, and then it becomes much easier to convert them into clients.
Makes sense. I should add one myself. Now, Now, since we're talking about that, one of the challenges for coaches, creators, is it attracting and retaining clients, of course, or customers. Now, how does Pensight assist in this aspect, especially with features like email reminders, calendar integration, and pixel tracking?
Absolutely, yes. So again, retention, getting attention, converting that attention into intention, so purchase intent, and then getting that intention into retention is the whole aim of the game here. You can massively boost profits just by retaining your clients a lot better. The way to do this is with automated reminders. So we send automated reminders to make sure that people actually turn up to the one-to-one sessions, the group sessions, and so forth. We also send reminders to collect automatically testimonials on your behalf. And so, if you do sell a great course, if you do have a great one-to-one session, then we will automatically collect the 5-star reviews and display that on your profile, which again increases the further getting more clients. The calendar integrations makes scheduling so much easier. You don't need to worry about the back and forth. There's been many times where email threads where I'm trying to schedule with somebody just fall apart because we can't find a time to work together. Whereas if they're able to quickly find a time on my calendar, then it works great for them. And it also appears on their calendar. And then the other cool thing is pixels and tracking. So this is another great pro feature where you can essentially add Meta, Google, and TikTok's pixels to your page. And that way you can figure out who is your audience who works well. You can retain them, and you can also find lookalike audiences and grow with retargeting or driving them again back to your profile. So great ways how you can retain. You already have also a built-in chat feature on Pensight, so you can see who your clients are. You can message them and actually build a relationship with them. So if you build a relationship with them through Pensight, you have often a two-way chat, or sometimes it's just a one-way chat where you can broadcast to them. Whereas on Zoom, let's say you book a call through Calendly, you have a call on Zoom, and then that relationship has disappeared. You have to contact them by email again, or struggle through that way.
Makes sense. But just to be clear, I believe that some of us might not really know what pixels is. Can you explain it a bit, what's going on there, and what are pixels, and why should we consider that?
Sure, yeah. Sorry, I should clarify for the less nerdy. So essentially Facebook pixels, or Meta pixel as they call themselves nowadays, Meta, TikTok, and Google pixels are little bits of code that you can get essentially a tag for. So if you have accounts with them, you can get a little piece of code, and then by entering that onto Pensight, we can install that code onto your page. And these pixels, these bits of code, essentially track who goes on your page. So that, say, somebody from Facebook, a Facebook user goes to your page, then Facebook pixel will know, hey, Johnny was on your page, or Catherine was on your page. And so then it becomes easy. You can then run advertising campaigns to retarget them. And so that means for people who already visited my website, I want to show them my advert for something again. And that's a great way to say, maybe they came to your page to check out your 5K coaching bundle, but for some reason they didn't purchase. You can then retarget them and nurture them by saying, hey, how about you download my ebook on this for now? And then you can still collect their email. You didn't know that from the start because you didn't get their contact information, but Facebook knows who they are, and you can get Facebook to show them stuff like lead magnets or something else. So it's a great way to kind of retarget and get those people to come back again. Because what we found, and this number is growing the more and more I hear about it, but they say that it takes at least 7 mentions of a brand before you are convinced by that brand. I've now heard estimations as high as 13. So yeah, it's crazy. The more times you can get your name out there, the better your chances are of converting.
I've heard even 30, Tengo, from multiple sources. So it's insane. And because our attention span decreases, the more of these touch points we need in order to actually notice something or be aware. Now, we talked a bit of what Pensight can do, but I know that collaboration and integration with other platforms is very important today because we're trying to do more things in less time with less tools. So what I want to ask is, how does Pensight integration with tools like Zapier enhance the overall functionality and expand the capabilities of our platform?
Yeah, so again, great question. So we work with Zapier, we integrate with Zapier, and Zapier is essentially a pipe, is the way you can think about it, which means that you can get data from Pensight and pipe that data to another tool. And what we've really found is, while we are an all-in-one platform perfect for managing your coaching, there's a lot of email marketing tools out there, and they're all fantastic. And oftentimes people already have email lists existing and ready that they're sending to. So we wanted to make it as easy as possible to continue using your email marketing list. And the way we did that is by by integrating with Zapier, you can essentially say, create an intake form, say on your Pensight profile, where you can collect emails and names of people, and you can pipe that information via Zapier to an email marketing software, such as MailChimp, such as ConvertKit, such as Sendinblue. There's so many. So because those tools are purpose built for email marketing, for driving exactly what you need, newsletters and all that kind of stuff, we didn't want to compete with them, and we wanted to allow people to actually use and harness their own existing mailing lists. And so we make it super easy for either from the intake form to go straight to your newsletter subscriber list, or maybe it could be that if somebody signs up for a specific product, then you want to send them a marketing campaign, right? So it could be that you create, again, let's say a digital ebook, how to get set up online in 7 days, right? And so send them an ebook, but then you could also send them like a daily reminder email notification saying, hey, did you do step 1 on the journey of, the 7-day course that you've set up? So it's a great way to kind of combine the two and integrate it seamlessly so that you don't need to worry about making sure that the emails get brought over from Pensight to whatever else you're using.
That's amazing. So I can literally just put out there a lead magnet. Someone comes on my Pensight link in bio, they download it, then Zapier captures that email and starts an email sequence, nurturing that into a potential sale, which is great. Okay, cool. And about that, because we are talking about all of these features, which are genuinely cool, talking from my side, but I've also heard it from many. I know we also, of course, have coupons/discounts. How can we use that easily on Pensight, and why should we even consider discounts, coupons? Like, what's the end goal? How can those help us?
Discounts and promotions and coupons are a great way to drive further marketing, and especially time-bound or usage-bound promotions. So the same way that, coupons were, I think, probably invented around the early 20th century in the Sears catalog, when you could essentially cut out something and then go to store and redeem things. This is a great way for you to create a sense of urgency and scarcity, right? So if I hear that suddenly, there's a 20% discount or 40% discount for something that I know will be a limited time, there's suddenly an urgency for me to move quicker. And a lot of times people are questioning, maybe they want whatever you're selling, maybe they want whatever you're sharing, but their question in their mind is, why now? That's something I can do later. That's something I can do in a week or 2 weeks or next month or next year. So if you create that sense of urgency, you can use promotions as a great way to do that, and also create traffic and drive more referrals or whatever the case may be. So it's a fantastic way that you can combine the two and make your sales and marketing motion a lot more successful.
That drive from within, when you see only 5 left, or it's just, I have to get it right now, or it's by the end of the day, like 18 hours left. It's like, it really incentivizes you to act now. So that's why I wanted to bring this up, because I know it's really a great sales strategy. Now, we mentioned before, memberships. And I know in 2023, this idea of community, online membership has been literally the trend, and everyone is setting up, not everyone, but some of the biggest creators out there are setting up memberships. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Like, how can people set up memberships on Pensight, and how do this membership look? What can you do with them? Can people engage? Can people, reply to your posts? Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, absolutely. So memberships and communities have been blowing up, especially recently in the past few years online, as a great way to create a group of people who love to listen to you, who want to listen to you, and also want to share their experiences between themselves, and increases the stickiness as well. So how much people retain again. And so communities and memberships are a great way for you to share content regularly, to give people more exclusive access to you, and for you to give extra golden nuggets to those people who are more loyal. So communities and memberships are a great way. And again, this is something that you can do on Pensight. You can create regular posts, accept subscription payments, and earn that recurring revenue that will help drive your business and provide more basis for stability as you look to grow your business and your audience.
Get it. And is there any way, if I want to include in my membership, for example, calls, or maybe I want to give them access to my online course, to recorded workshop, can I add all of this to my membership?
Yeah, absolutely. And so packaging your different items and gifts and bonuses together in one membership is definitely something that's recommended, and a lot of people do. And so you can actually share that as one of your posts. So you can say, again, combine different things. So you could say, combine a course, show that the price of the course is normally $500, but members of my membership get, say, 100% discount. And so you could share the 100% discount code, a link out to your course, and really kind of take people through the notion and let them realize the notion that what they're getting is actually truly valuable. What they're getting is worth $500. Other people are paying $500 for that, and they're getting exclusive access because they are a loyal member to you. So it's great to kind of combine, show different values of different places, and cross-sell your different things that are available from your profile.
And to make this clear, it's like I would have my own news feed, right? It's like it looks like a feed where I can make posts and people can comment on my post and I can reply to their comments. Is that it? Like, should I imagine a Facebook feed scrolling and just making a post?
Precisely, yes. So in many ways, it's similar to a Facebook group, but it's paid for often. It can be, or it could be free if you prefer to have it that way. But the great thing is that you allow people to have exclusive access to things. If you want, you can also make certain posts previewable, visible for people outside the membership. But really, it's about kind of creating a place for the really true golden nuggets, the kind of secrets essentially that you have that you only want to share with the most loyal people. And the awesome thing is that, as you mentioned, we've recently added comments. So this creating a conversation can drive further engagement in your community and also allow more stickiness and retention for those users.
And Tengo, I want you to tell me again, why are online memberships such a big thing right now? Like, what is it about them? Is it the recurring revenue? And like, how should we think about it? Is it, just telling a bit more about that recurring revenue that we all want to hear more about.
There's multiple reasons why it's worth considering memberships and why you should really build one. Firstly is that with regular content that you're posting, you stay more on top of mind for your users and your audience, which is one thing that you definitely want. Secondly, with being able to allow an engaged community where they can talk to each other, and these people, because it's also more tight-knit, it's more exclusive, people build the connections not just with you more, but also with other people who are listening to you. And so this drives much higher retention. And thirdly, recurring revenue is fantastic because it's a lot more stable. It becomes a lot more you can live off it, right? It's not fluctuating where, you do a big launch event and you sell, say, a bunch of courses all at one time, but then there's no more income after that. Instead, you have a steady, regular base of income that you can use, and then, of course, making a living out of it, right? So that's why, again, we saw this in the software space when Salesforce came along originally in the early 21st century. And from before, when it used to be Microsoft sold you a big package of software, and then that was it. That was all they had. Instead, we moved to a SaaS service, so software as a service. Nowadays, we also want kind of memberships as a service. We want content as a service. So we want to be able to subscribe to things and be able to learn more. And the other cool thing is that for your users, it means that the information they'll be getting from you is a lot more up to date. It's not like I'm buying a course that was made 5 years ago and like a lot of the information from there is now out of date because, so many, Google Plus is no longer a thing, right? So being able to stay on top of the information is something that users want, the stability, the recurring income is something that you want, and it's a great match for both sides of the party.
I wanted to ask you, when we have all of these options, it can be overwhelming. And I know this is something that many of us face. How do we select what we want to sell? How do we know what works? How do we go about it?
Yeah, this is a super interesting question, one that I've actually thought a lot about, and I do have the answer. I just wanted to add, so there are, of course, to kind of summarize again, the different offerings that you can have as a knowledge entrepreneur, as a knowledge creator, is one-to-one or group coaching, and this could be one-off sessions or it could be bundles or programs. Then you have courses. So these are pre-recorded courses, essentially something like Coursera, where you watch the videos on demand. The clients do that, and then they fill out any information or tests necessary. Then there's the actual pre-recorded digital products. So this could be an ebook, this could be an audio file, it could be an audiobook, it could be a PDF template, it could be a bunch of different things that are possible there. And additionally, we have Q&As. So it could be where somebody asks a question and then you respond with a personalized video response. And this could be a Q&A, or it could also be like a shout out. So it could be like, hey, can you do a shout out for my friend here? So there's lots of different kind of products and knowledge transfers that can be done. Part of the thing as well with Q&As could be as well audits, right? So the question could be, your audience might want an audit of their CV. They might want an audit of their social media profile. They might want an audit of their design plans for something, right? So there's lots of different ways that people might be interested in learning from you and paying you. The question is, what's the right offering for your audience? And the way to think about it is, there's two axes really. So the spending propensity is actually the x-axis. So if they're willing to spend a lot, they're on the far side. If they're not willing to spend a lot, they want things for free, then they're on the left side towards zero. And then the y-axis is actually what's their need for customization. How important is it to them that they get custom, personal, one-to-one information? So do they need something that's very unique to their situation, or is the knowledge that they need a lot more applicable and widespread, right? So from that, you can figure out, does your audience, for example, need highly unique, personalized information, and are they willing to spend a lot? If so, then you should want to go, that's essentially in the top right corner. Those people have a lot of money and they need very unique answers. So one-to-one coaching bundle, say a 3-month coaching bundle, 6-month coaching bundle might be the right answer for them because they really want you to go deep with them. Or it could be that they're somewhere in the middle. They have some money and they need like a medium amount of customization. So it could be, I don't know, a course on something like, I don't know, how to build a roofing business, right? So roofing businesses are businesses that have been done before. You can explain what the general process is. There's lots of shared things between building a roofing business from one person to the next. And so there's a middle amount of customization needed and a middle amount of money that can be spent on it. Then depending on who your audience is, maybe they don't have that much money to spend, but it's super generic what they're looking for. They're just looking for, how do I set up my Instagram bio so that I get the maximum number of leads, right? So that's something that could be, very kind of classic and kind of generalized across many people. And so something like that, a digital product might be the best thing to do there. So, you can explain what are the 5 rules to follow in setting up your Instagram bio and set that up as an ebook or a template or a PDF as a digital product on your Pensight profile. And you generally, of course, sell that for a low amount. People aren't willing to spend thousands of dollars just for you to tell them what needs to be in their bio, right? So think about what are the different pieces of information that people need. How much money do you think they're willing to spend? Do they have and they're willing to spend to solve that problem? And how unique and personalized is that information to be? Also, the unique and personalized also contains also confidential, right? So it could be, something that's really deep and close to their heart. People don't necessarily want to share. If you're talking about stuff that could be, like psychologically, traumatic and or maybe super secretive, or confidential, then of course you want to kind of create a safe environment to do that. And so a one-to-one coaching session, for example, might be the right thing to sell in that kind of situation. So think about those 2 dimensions, think about your audiences, what their spending propensity is, and how unique the information that you're sharing with them needs.
I think this is so valuable because it literally puts order in one's brain. We have now the map. Like the map is there, we just have to use it. So thank you so much for this illustration, Tengo. And I would say also you can think about it a bit in terms of a funnel. So for example, I know in a previous episode with Dan Thomas, he's a viral marketing expert with over 100K followers on Instagram. He was telling us about his program where he teaches others how to close 10K in 10 weeks. And he said that the way they're doing it is by, first of all, creating a workshop in a way as a lead magnet and after that workshop, they take the leads and they sell a signature program too. So when you select the products that you want to sell, you can also think in terms of this funnel. So first, I want to either give them a lead, like maybe an ebook or a workshop, and then I want to attract them into this signature program, which would probably be a coaching bundle or online membership. So that would be one way as well.
To add some color to that, absolutely. And I think maybe from what I said, it sounded a bit like you should only choose one of those things. That's not the right way to look about it. The right way to look about it is you want to have different offerings to tailor for different audiences, right? So it might be there's different subgroups within the people that you're looking to sell to. Again, let's take the example of a careers coach. There's some, young students, maybe people in high school don't have that much money to spend personally. And so you can want to give them more general advice, more scalable advice where your time doesn't go to, for each unit you sell, you don't need to spend more time creating that unit and selling. So the marginal cost of creating that unit of advice is not high. And alternatively, there are people who are, say, senior executives, or maybe they're in the middle and they want to move up to become senior executives. Those people, the value that you can provide could be from getting them from a job from 100K to 200K, right? So suddenly, like, the value that they're getting and the money they already have is a lot higher. So you can create different offerings and get kind of a ladder-like process where people join and understand from a lower ticket, maybe free. They come into your sphere, your ecosystem, your mailing lists, they understand your Pensight profile, and then from there they move up the ladder when they have more money and also more trust. So that's the other thing, is do you have the trust and authority to be able to sell them? If you immediately go to somebody and say, buy my 50K package, whatever it is, that's kind of like going to somebody and immediately asking for their hand in marriage, right? So instead you should nurture. Think about how can you nurture people. Sure, if you look gorgeous and you're the most charismatic person in the room and everybody already knows you, then you may be able to get married immediately, but it's unlikely that you're there first. And so you need to build that relationship slowly and nurture it over a longer period of time.
I've been hearing this thing about less is more. So maybe it's good not to put all of the products out there, even if you can, like you don't really want to have all types of products out there. Maybe you want to have less products, but very good quality. So don't think that you have to. It's better, in my opinion, and what I've heard from other experts, to focus on a few good products that over-deliver value rather than try to do everything and be everywhere. This was just my touch on what you said, Tengo.
Yeah, less is more, and sometimes more is more. But the question is, when do you know which one is more? So the way to think about it is, how will your clients think when they visit and see your offering? One interesting thing to note is Chick-fil-A is one of the most successful brands out there in terms of fast food, and their catalog of products that they sell is about 25% of other fast food chains out there, right? So you can do a lot more with less. And the question is, how can you make sure that it's, first of all, simpler for you to deliver your product and offering, and secondly, not confusing, while also catering to the different subgroups within your audience, right? So it's constantly a trade-off between those three. You want to, first of all, kind of capture all of the different markets that you have, but also you want to make it easy for you to deliver that, and in a way that isn't going to be confusing for you and also isn't going to be confusing for your clients. So all of those three factors are the things to consider when building out your offering.
I love it. This one I actually didn't know. See, always something new to learn, even when you work with someone almost daily. Now, Tengo, the last thing I really want to ask you was online courses, because I know we mentioned them, but we didn't really say what can you do with them on Pensight. Like, can you create them on Pensight? Can you put lessons, chapters, or is that still even a trending thing that coaches and creators are doing? Do they still create courses?
Yep, courses are an evergreen type of product and offering that we still recommend, and we still see being super, super successful. Many people have built multi-million and even billion-dollar businesses out of courses. The way to structure it, that we make it super easy to do, is to think about kind of chapters and modules within those. So there's modules, it could be a big block, and then you can have lessons within those kind of chapters or modules. And it's a great way to kind of break down learning. So if you think about how people learn, they learn about kind of having different sections that they think about in this world, and then they combine, compare, differentiate, and understand things by linking different sections. So on Pensight, it's super easy to create those chapters. Lessons within those chapters, the content can be videos, it can be images, it can be text, it can be anything. It can also include files. So you could also include a PDF template. Once you've watched this lesson, fill out this, questionnaire yourself at home, and then email it me or share it to me in the chat. And so with online courses, you can find a great way for people who have the self-motivation to learn on demand to sign up to your products, and it's a great way for you to start building that connection and grow from there. And the great thing about courses is that they are the most scalable type of product and offering aside from digital products, right? So there's no marginal cost for you to sell one more course, no marginal cost for you to sell one more digital product. It's a great way for you to scale your business. The other way to scale your business, of course, is to go higher end and to go deeper and to charge more. And both ways we've seen work super, super well. It depends on how you as a person also prefer doing business. Do you prefer to build those relationships and really get to know your clients and figure out and help them transform? Or would you rather have access to more people and maybe slightly less personal impact on each person, but because your message is more widespread, you still get that impact out there, and you can earn a living that way.
I'm so happy you mentioned this idea of scalable, because that's why digital products and online courses are sought after by coaches, right? Because they bring that passive income. You create it once, and then all you have to do is marketing, because you can sell the same online course 3 years later, maybe with some updates, but still get that money in your sleep. So that's, I think, one of the biggest benefits of digital products, online courses. You can make that money in your sleep like everyone dreams about. Now, Tengo, we know that Pensight has delighted us almost month by month with incredible updates, and it keeps getting better and better if that's possible. Any sneak peek into what Pensight is preparing behind the closed doors? What is it next that will come out, or is there anything you can tell us about that?
There are, but if I told you, I'd have to kill you. No, I'm kidding. There's lots of exciting features coming in, and one thing is worth mentioning is that the features that we build are completely down to what our users want, right? So that's another kind of learning that you should take for yourself, is listen to your audience, listen to your users. What do they want? So we pay close attention. We read every piece of feedback that comes our way, and we also call up our customers and have email exchanges with our customers to find out what it is that they like, what they don't like, what needs improving. A couple of things that are in the pipeline is even more customizability, so fonts and themes and colors for your text on your profile, so that it exactly matches the brand that you'd like. There's lots of other features again around courses and memberships that are coming. So course comments is now coming as well. We'll be soon adding quizzes and tests so that you can actually grade your students, and that this will again build a stronger stickiness, stronger retention, and boost the testimonials that you can use for your courses, and a bunch of other things that for now I'll keep under wraps, but it's going to be super exciting, and just pay close attention to our newsletter, because we'll be announcing as these things are launched.
#stay tuned. Stay tuned for more. I love this, Tengo, and this has been very, very useful, because it really allowed us to see what a powerful tool Pensight is. And if not Pensight, at least you gave us some very good strategies, some very good tips. So I am very grateful for that. Now, any last words to our audience on, launching, scaling their business, using Pensight to scale? Any last words?
Yeah, two things. First of all, don't overthink. Just build out your products, build out your offerings, and get your message out there. And secondly, make sure to billboard everywhere. There's no way that people can pay you or learn from you or get your advice if you don't tell them that it's possible for them. So make sure that you build your Pensight Link in bio. Once you have your offerings, have your lead magnet, have your one-to-one sessions, have your courses, whatever you're going to build there. Make sure to put it in your link in bio. Make sure to include it in your email signature. Allow people to get access to you as easily as possible, and it's a great way for you to start building that relationship and retain people from there. So don't overthink, get built. Don't spend too long on it, and get feedback from your customers, and make sure to tell as many people as possible by spreading that link everywhere you can.
Shout it from the rooftops. I love that, Tengo. Thank you, Tengo, so much for being with us here today. Again, we have missed you. Maybe, we're gonna have you back again as a host, as a guest. As long as we have you back, we're happy. And thank you, dear guests, for sticking till the end. Feel free to leave any questions in the comments below. And if you have any question, know that we have a chat section on our Pensight website. So any sort of question, feel free to just drop it there, and someone will answer very, very quick, and you'll have the answer. Or just check the frequently asked questions. We also have that section on our website. There are answers. The important thing is that you ask or look for it. Now, what can I say? Tengo, thank you. I wish you all an incredible day, and see you all for the next episode of the Coach Tribe podcast.
Hope you enjoyed this episode.
We'll be releasing every Wednesday, so make sure to
subscribe
and rate us 5 stars where you're listening to this show, to give others a chance to discover it too.